to another episode of All Things Real Estate. And as always, I am your host, Kyle Seyboth, with Century 21 Real Estate, serving Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, residential and commercial real estate. We are here for all of your questions, all of your needs, all of your concerns. And like usual, unlike any other week, we have our friend Jose Brador on today, right? Said
Absolutely,
it right?
You got it.
Did I crush it?
You didn't butcher it.
I did all right. So Jose is a insurance. What would you call yourself?
Insurance agent.
Insurance agent. He's an insurance agent with LaPointe Insurance, and we do a lot of stuff with LaPointe as well. So we're familiar with you guys. I did not know that you live in Guam. You live. Where do you live?
The equivalent of what? So I live in a little town called Athol, which is kind of central western Mass.
Yeah.
Love it though. Absolutely love it.
Perfect. Are you from there?
No, I was actually raised in Providence.
Oh, you're from Providence?
Yeah.
What brought you to Athol?
Honestly, man, we were after I graduated high school, we moved to Puerto Rico for a little bit. I lived in Florida for about 8 years, and then for family reasons, we came back up here. And then as I was looking for a house, I was trying to stay in Providence, or at least in Rhode Island. We just couldn't find anything. We looked at like 20 houses, and then one night, my wife was like, we either buy a house or we going back to Florida. And if anybody knows me, I'm not too fond of Florida.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Why?
It's as crazy as it may sound.
You don't
the
like
weather. The weather. The humidity kills me, man.
On.
The humidity absolutely
Florida.
kills me. Yeah, I mean, I will go visit. During this time of the year, it's nice. It's like in the 80s. But once that June, July,
it's hot.
August, September, it's not even the hot. Because again, I'm from the Caribbean. It's the humidity, man.
Yeah.
And then another thing, love bugs. Oh.
What?
I'm telling you. I love bugs. I'm telling you.
So you are the only person in the world who says Athol and Florida.
It
right?
is what it is. What can I say?
Providence up here, Florida down here.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, the Athol thing was more of a necessity than anything else. But honestly, we've been wonderfully surprised. We've been there for about 4 years now. And like I said, it's a small little town. I'm probably like the loudest person in the whole town. But we love it, man. It's really great, great place to raise kids and
awesome.
It's great.
So you're an insurance agent. You're with LaPointe. Do you work out of the Fall River office, or do they have an Athol branch? Where are you out?
So for the most part, I work remotely, right? So because a lot of what I do,
you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I come down to the office like once a week, usually on Fridays.
Yeah.
For the taco, the tacos.
You don't miss that.
Yeah, no, I don't miss that at all. But for the most part, I usually work remotely, or sometimes I may work out of somebody's office, like a realtor or a loan officer if I'm in the area.
Got it.
Yeah.
How long have you been in insurance?
About 9 years.
Oh, so you've been in for a little bit?
Yeah, I've been in it for.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
All right, so we're about the same. 9 years, been in insurance, so that means you did something before that. What did you do before?
The running joke in my family is, man, I've done it all.
I knew you were going to. I was going to say, he's going to say he's a nomad.
I've done it all, man. But prior to recently, prior to coming to the insurance, I was in the car business for a while. And then prior to that, I was a manager for a couple of retail stores, did that and then prior to that, it was like wherever, I was a mercenary, man.
What did you do in Florida?
So in Florida, for the most part, I was a manager at a Sprint store for a little bit.
Yeah.
Worked in the car business. And then in 2012, that's when I got into full-time into insurance.
So why insurance? And why have you stayed? So you haven't stayed anything that long. So the longevity there, that 9-year period for insurance, why?
So the biggest thing to me, so the reason why I got into it was because I was in a transition period. I needed a job. And a friend of mine, we used to work in the car business together. And we were making decent money. And I left because it is a very time-consuming job. And so, but he stayed. And then one day he came when I was at Sprint. He came into the office one day. Hey, listen, I went to do insurance with this company at their call center in Lake Mary. And he kept kind of, every time we would come in, tell me about it. And then eventually I kind of, left Sprint and took about a month and a half off. And then I was like, well, I need a job now. So I called him up and said, hey, are they hiring? And he was like, yeah, we're still hiring. Went in. So at the beginning, it was more of a just because I needed a job. And then, especially when I came up here back to New England, where I kind of I went from working at a call center to now working on, as an independent agent,
yeah.
you really get to see what insurance does for people. I know sometimes, people just, it's an obligation, so people tend to kind of look at it from a negative perspective, but when you see people that go through claims and they're covered and they're happy because you're able to take care of them, whatever the case may be, that is very, very fulfilling, especially in our case where we work a lot with like first-time home buyers and things of that nature, or just regular buyers, period, with regards to real estate. Insurance is so, so important. And in my community, the Hispanic community is very underserved. So just a lot of different things why I love what I do.
So PNC, you do any life?
I outsource it. I usually use life as a way to kind of.
So life is an outsource. So you get the pitch, the deck. What do they call it? The decks in insurance. What the hell do you call that?
Oh, deck?
Like the one pager.
Oh yeah. So if somebody wants to like switch insurance, for example, we would need like what's called declarations page.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the deck page. Yeah. So all right. So you've come in insurance, been there for 9 years. You're at LaPointe. What's your favorite part of the business that you like the most?
Honestly, building relationships. And that's why I was saying when I came up here that I kind of started working in the field. That's actually been the one area that has I just really enjoy. So like doing this with folks like yourself, before, prior to COVID, obviously going to events and meeting people, going out to coffee, lunch, whatever. That is definitely a great part. And like I said, the other thing is helping clients out. That's first and foremost.
Have we met before?
We probably have met, maybe like at a NAB event or something.
Quick.
Correct.
Quick.
It was more like
you and I never really kind of chopped it up.
Correct.
So I've known you for about 7 minutes now, right? I'm gonna tell you what my take is. You're very likable.
Oh, thank you.
Right. So I think like you need to really capitalize on the likability factor you have because people can relate to you. People will like you. So like I don't know how much policies or how many policies you do per month, but I think you can do more. You just need to get in front of more people.
Absolutely.
I would think that you're someone, in my opinion, that if I were looking for an insurance agent, like you're just that guy. Like you're the fun guy that can help me out. That's not stressful. He gets it. He can really be there for me. So
and, one of the things that because again, it just, and I do it in a very loving way. Especially again, the Hispanic culture tends to be a little bit more warm. But one of the things that I really just kind of focus on is I try to make my clients feel like they're family. So, for example, like I would say Mr. Seyboth or Kyle.
Right.
Hey, what's going on, mama? Hey, boss, how you doing? To kind of use a term of endearment to client
versus a non-personalized conversation.
Exactly,
So
or too formal type of thing.
Right, exactly, too formal. One thing I would say to you: never lose that.
Thank you.
Never lose that. Don't ever lose that because I think that's your strength. Like your strength there is going to be that factor, right? That X factor, that it factor, you can't lose that. You got to keep that going. So I can't wait to see how you do in the future. As right now too, and I don't know if you see it, but there's probably less policies written now because it's so hard for people to get houses right now. But at some point that game will change, right? What was your best year as far as policies written?
Honestly, last year.
Last year was a good
2020 was a good year, and honestly, even now, man.
How was 19?
19 was good.
Yeah, 19 was good for me.
19
and 20 were really good. This year's tough.
This year so for me it's a little bit different because even though there's a shortage of inventory, right, which kind of creates a little bit of a hassle for realtors, but there's the refi game.
I was gonna say you must hit the refi all day.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that too, when there's a shortage of inventory and because of COVID, I did a video a few months ago that one of the best things to do right now, especially for those folks that have either like their hours have been reduced or work or whatever the case may be, is to try to find ways to save money. Right. So if you haven't had, one thing I focus on a lot is if you're a current homeowner, whether you're refinancing or not, it doesn't matter. Just have a policy review.
But think about why. So I used to own an insurance company, so I know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had a very successful insurance company, a branch of John J. Clark, and we had to shut it down because the third partner, it grew too fast. We went from 0 premium to we had like 1.6 million in a year and a half.
That's a lot.
So
that's a lot.
We crushed it, right? And what I realized was the renewals. Some of the renewals, you start paying attention, right? And if you're with the carrier that you're not paying attention to and they're doing 5-10% renewal per year, your insurance number is way out of whack.
Yeah.
If you have an insurance review done, you can switch it up, get similar, if not better coverage for like a fraction of the price.
I always tell clients every couple of years, maybe like every 2 to 3 years.
I say 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, just have, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know. And
you could be fine. Right, you could be fine.
Absolutely.
But you could be in a situation where your renewal rate keeps going up and up and up and up, and because of that, it's now causing your escrow amount to be higher, which is now causing your mortgage to be higher, which is now causing less money in your pocket. And in my opinion, this will probably be the best year for anyone before rates really tick up, for anyone to start their refinancing.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important for like the relationships with realtors and loan officers is so important.
Right.
Because whether the market is hot, it's just that there's no inventory, right?
Right.
Or with the loan officer, whether now they're attacking refis and whatnot. At the end of the day, it's for me, it's really all the same. It's really about getting in front of that client and doing the best job that I can to. I tell the clients, my primary duty as an agent is to find the best coverage available for the lowest premium possible.
Right.
That's really what my goal is.
It's protection and price, right? The 2 Ps, right? Protection and price, and that's what the client's looking for. Do you do auto?
Yeah, of course.
So home and auto lumped together typically are
that's usually going to be
a slam dunk. Usually.
It's a slam dunk.
How many times would you say you see folks that have home with XYZ company and auto with ABC?
I see it all the time.
So then when you consolidate them, right?
When you consolidate, correct.
You save money all day.
And what clients don't understand is that even if, for example, like in my case where we represent, a ton of different companies, I may not necessarily be able to put your home and the auto with the same company per se, but a lot of carriers will give you a discount just by having everything in-house with the same agency, right? So even if, because again, at the end of the day, it has to make financial sense for the client.
Right, you're not on the same carrier, but you have the same agency.
Exactly. As long as with the same agency, you're gonna get a discount regardless.
Correct.
It still works out for the client.
What's the biggest myth or biggest miss that clients think or feel about insurance?
Your first thing is that the lower the coverage, the lower the premium. So
the less I get covered on, the less I'm paying.
Yeah. So initially, it may work out, if you're establishing a policy today, for example. But I've seen it, and I actually made a couple of posts on Instagram and in Facebook where, upon renewal or 2 years, when you're going out to kind of reshop your rate, it actually hurts you like dramatically. So what people don't understand is that an insurance quote is an assessment of a risk. That's really all insurance is. It's an assessment of a risk. So to an insurance company, well, this person obviously doesn't care about their coverage, so automatically you become a higher risk. So now all of a sudden you're shopping around and you're kind of in a way shooting yourself in the foot because you decided to go with the lower coverage. So that's to me is the biggest misconception in insurance. And then of course, insurance companies really are there to make you whole. And in the event of a claim.
So they're not the devil?
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, I've had claims myself on my property, and and on my auto insurance as well. And you may have to haggle here and there to get stuff done. But in the end, the insurance companies really are there to help you out. So honestly, I say that if insurance is an obligation, we got to have it. So you might as well make sure that you're properly covered, so that in the event of something happening, you're not. Because again, something happens when you have a ton of properties, right? Something happens in one of your properties, I guarantee you the last thing you're thinking about is your premium.
Right. No, irrelevant.
It's really irrelevant.
I don't care.
You think, am I covered? What's everybody okay? So that's why I try to navigate. And again, price is definitely important. I would never condone anyone overpaying for their insurance, but I do believe that if you are going to have the policy, you might as well do your due diligence and make sure that you are as properly covered as possible.
I don't know why. I like you.
Oh, thank you,
I like
man.
you a lot. I
appreciate it.
I can't get over the fact like this dude is like he's just like my guy now. Like
I appreciate it, man.
You're a good dude, and I like you. I think we can do some stuff together. I think there's a lot of synergies there. I think you do a nice job. And honestly, you bring a different factor to the game. Like you're just real. Like I like the real factor. Like, hey man, I did this many jobs up until 9 years ago. I was, you know what I mean? Like you're just being honest. It is what it is.
If I ever invite you to a family gathering, I'm telling you, that's the running joke of my family. I've done it all.
That's awesome. So I want to say thank you.
No,
I
thank
know
you,
you
man.
drove down here for a little ways. I know Guam is far away, so I appreciate
I actually flew in this morning.
I appreciate the ride. With that, everyone, we are complete. Another episode, great episode. Hopefully you learned something, all things real estate. As always, we will see you next week.